I'm late for my own stream. Good morning. Hi, Jeanette. Hey, Nikki. Mrs. J, what's up? Make your coffee. Make your coffee. Oh, hey, Sarah. Meal prepping for the week. Nice. I wish I could meal prep. I'm just not that organized. The funny thing is I am actually an organized person. Just not that organized. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know why I am the way that I am. I'm so glad you made it too, because today I think it's going to be a good chat today. I look like hot garbage, by the way. I only do lunches, otherwise I go off the rail. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, and I probably should do that too, because lunch is usually where I'm like kind of wishy-washy throughout the week. Sometimes I don't even eat lunch. I'll have like a yogurt that barely qualifies as a lunch. Hi, Laura. How are you? Busy getting in my steps with reps to the rhythm. Nice, nice. You know, I thought about doing that for a live stream one day. I thought that might be fun to do like a workout with me kind of thing. But I don't know if I'm that coordinated. I wouldn't be able, I don't know how I would respond to chat. Hi, Alex. Oh, I'm so glad you jumped in. Alex is pretty new to YouTube, and he gives some really good no BS advice. So if you all want to check out Alex's channel, quality information there. I love reps to the rhythm too. Fun, fun, fun. I need to add some of those workouts to my workout playlist that I made for. Oh, I made it mainly for myself, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this playlist public. That way, when other people are like, I don't know what to do, they could check that out. Okay, so let's get down to business, because the stream is sponsored by Coffee Over Cardio. In my cup today is Flourish Island Breeze. It's a Kona coffee, which I frickin' love. That is my absolute favorite kind of coffee. This is super duper limited edition. So if you like Kona coffee and you like good coffee, go over to coffeeovercardio.com. You get 10% off your entire order when you use my code. It's 10LWS coffee, or you can follow the link that's in the description below. Good stuff. Hi Than, how are you? Hey Waysome, how are you? I do Move With Me live every morning, and I am certainly not coordinated, so you go on ahead. Sometimes the stream does freeze. I don't know why in the beginning. If you go out and come back in, it should refresh. Unless I'm frozen for everybody, in which case somebody else say so. Hi Jess, what's up? Risa Bisa, hello my dear. Yes, please don't forget to thumbs up. Appreciate that. So welcome to the Hot Mess Express, my friends. I know it's not just me, because I've watched several of your videos, and I've watched I've made my own videos, but it seems a lot of us are really struggling this last week. Isn't that just crazy? Like, it was kind of funny to me. I'm like, okay, so it's not just me. Like, there's something in the air, something in the water. I don't know, but like, just real quick, show of proverbial hands. Who struggled this week? Me. Me, I'm putting up 2 hands. That's how screwed I am. But today is a new day. It's the start of a new week. So I kind of wanted to talk about that today. Hey LB, how are you? Good morning, my dear. Okay. In a way, I don't want anybody to struggle, right? But in a way, I feel better that it wasn't just me. My week sucked. My week just sucked. Ugh. Fan, thank you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it. Do you have a channel as well? You're a new name to me. All the way from Indonesia. That's awesome. I appreciate you for being here. So, all right. So clearly we're all on the struggle bus. We're all on it. So, we're going to talk about that today because I think there's a few like questions and things we can kind of ask ourselves to kind of like get back to where we need to be. I really don't like the term get back on track because that assumes like if you're trying to change your lifestyle, like you can't be off of your life. So I really don't like the term back on track. I really don't. I'll probably say it anyway because that's like a pretty good, general statement to make. But so we're going to talk our way through that today. But let's kick off. I'm sure we have, even though struggled, I'm sure we have some non-scale victories that we can celebrate. I know Jeanette's. I know what she's going to share, and I'm so excited to read it out loud. So of course I'm not going to like spoil it. But gosh, Jeanette, I'm just so proud of you. Anyway, non-scale victories, folks. Let's hear them. Because we need some positivity in our lives. Hello, Misty. Hello, Caitlin. Good morning, good morning. Well, yeah, y'all are in the States. I know that. Oh my gosh, Nikki. He'll probably be mad at me for sharing this, but my husband just went through the exact same thing. He's actually going tomorrow to get his fixed, and we're going to be poor forever once again. Someday I'll get ahead. Someday. Oh, look at all y'all. Oh, Jeanette. Jeanette, you're so cute. So Jeanette ran a mile without stopping for the first time ever, which is huge. That's a big freaking deal. Congratulations. I was so excited for you. I read your Facebook post and I was just like, so excited. Okay, let's see what we got. Jess said, ran 5.5 miles yesterday and didn't die. That's awesome. That's 5.5 miles. Dang, girl, dang. That's freaking amazing. Okay, I'm getting behind. Misty said, I completed my charity 5K yesterday with my fastest time. That's awesome, Misty. Woohoo. Sarah said, I can't read apparently. My size 16 pants shorts are loose. I started at a 22. That's amazing. Go, Sarah. Go, Sarah. Risa Bisa said, I didn't eat ice cream last night. Self-control. Yes. You know what? That is. I have none of that recently. So that's amazing. Risa, every victory counts, right? I would say that's a win. Woohoo. Nikki said it's ridiculous what dental costs. Yes, it is outrageous. Outrageous. Caitlin said, doing some workouts that would have killed me before that are a breeze today. One of my favorite things about this journey is watching myself get more fit and strong. I could not agree with you more on that. That is fantastic. Way to go. What kind of workouts did you do? Waysome said, I got me some lights and kept up with my planned workout routine. Yay! That's awesome. Laura said, trying to think of an NSV is still fitting in my jeans after a year. Still count. Yes. If it means something to you, it absolutely counts. 100%. Lots of congrats. Way to support everybody, guys. Way to support. Jeanette said, I also now own 2 rompers in a size small. I don't know who I am anymore. So, I forget who asked me this. This is good. You guys are going to laugh at me. So, I forget who asked me this. I think it was you, Caitlin. I think Caitlin asked me a while ago. She said, do you see your sense of style changing? Like when you get to your goal weight? And I was just kind of like, well, I have no sense of style right now. My style right now is like, oh shit, it fits. That's my style right now. So I was looking up like Japanese street fashion. I think that's a look I'm going to go for. If you don't know what it is, look it up in your spare time. Not right now, obviously, unless you want to right now. But look up Japanese street fashion. You guys are going to be like, Sarah, what? Laura said, I hadn't tried on my jeans for over a year. I've pretty much lived in activewear working from home. Monday was the first time I tried my jeans on. So then that is a non-scale victory. Especially with everything that's been going on in the world, right? Oh my gosh. Jess gave some really good advice here. She said, to anyone learning to run, don't give up. It takes time. I have been working at it for a few months, which is amazing. You do have to stay. That's another, I mean, we all know, right? Like consistency is key. Running, if you want to increase your distance, especially, and endurance, it is a, what do they call that? A long game. It does take time. Life with Lady T. Hello, Tia. How are you? Nikki said, we've been doing our ab challenge every day. Day 23 already. 7 more to go. That's awesome. Killing it. You're in the home stretch. 7 days. That's like, at this point, that's like nothing. Go, Nikki. Go, Gare. Go, Nikki. Go, G. You guys got this. Mrs. J said, my style has changed. Perhaps I actually have a style now. Yeah, I don't have one. I don't have one, Colleen, so. God. Deanna, you're never late. You're right on time for you. That's how I see it. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Joe. Joe Googled it. It is advanced fashion. I know I'd have to learn a lot, but it's actually not that hard to pull off. I'm so weird. Yeah, I would say advanced. That's a good word for it. Hello, Carolyn. Good morning. There's nothing wrong with modifying. Nothing wrong with modifying. For you guys who just popped in, we're on NSVs because the rest of this chat is going to be like... It's going to be the Hot Mess Express. Laura said, on a more serious note, I've managed to do 10,000 steps for 53 consecutive days so far. Holy crap, that's awesome. I'm proud of myself given the horrendous weather. I plan on doing it for the foreseeable. That's actually freaking incredible. Like, pat yourself on the back, Laura, because that's amazing. Hi, Christina. Long time no see. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. Just so you guys know, when somebody in my squad goes offline, it doesn't go unnoticed. I noticed. I actually messaged Christina and I was like, are you okay? So I'm glad to see you. I'm really glad to see you. You guys are amazing. See, this makes me feel so pumped up. Sarah said, another NSV, friends are asking me if we can go work out, go walking together. That's so nice. I don't have any friends in person. All my friends are on the internet. That's not true. That's not true at all. I do have friends. I'm just antisocial. I don't know. Would you guys believe me about that if I told you that? Like, I'm really an antisocial person. I'm very introverted, believe it or not. This coffee was so good, I kind of chugged it. Whoops. Oh well, switching to water. Caitlin said, I don't want real life friends. Oh, no real life friends. Aw. You guys are my real life. You are my friends, my squad. Isn't that funny? Oh well, what can you do? I am the way that I am, and I'm gonna be 38 this year, so not much changing about that. Nikki said, since moving to Ireland, my only friends are on the internet. You know what? It's fine. That's fine. And you all are very good friends. Oh, yes. Yes. LaFay is very active on Instagram. In the nursing home, right, Caitlin? When I'm forced to socialize because they have the nursing home social hour. I know what you meant. So a lot of you popped in. Actually, okay, guys, like, can we give the stream a like? S'il vous plaît. Por favor. Don't forget to... I just looked and it's like 22 viewers and 7 likes. I'm so triggered. Yes. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? I'm a firm believer in that. Caitlin said, I loved your last video, Sarah, but didn't know how to comment. Which one? My weigh-in video or my Wednesday video? That was like that was me going out of my comfort zone big time. Excuse me. I'm just messing with you guys. I wasn't really triggered. Maybe a little. Please don't trigger me. No. I'm kidding. Yeah, so my Wednesday video, my shut the fork up video. That video was Aaron's fault. Who is Aaron here? I haven't seen him pop in. He's probably got soccer or something, but me and Aaron were talking about something. And we were talking about Greg Doucette. And we both noticed that he had been saying a lot, like, put the fork down. And that's such poo-poo advice. I mean, if it was that easy. It was forking awesome. I love my friends. I really do. Carolyn, thank you for indulging in my passion for puns. I forget who it was. I think it was Lydia. Is she here? Lydia, are you here? Hi, Liz. How are you? I think it was Lydia who was like, you can tell me to put the fork down. I'm just going to get a spoon instead. Oh, so funny. Yes, I agree, Jess. And, I really do have a big problem with a big problem. Listen to me. Like, I have a really big problem with men who make videos about women who struggle to lose weight. I don't know what it is. It really just pisses me right off. It really makes me mad. Anyway, I digress. Christina, thank you. Somebody did make me mad. Several people made me mad, actually. It wasn't just Greg, in fairness. There are other people who say it too. Because I'm not here. I don't need that audience coming for me ever. Please and thank you. Ever. So I wasn't mad at, because I like Greg a lot. I actually have a lot of respect for him. It's just, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say put the fork down. That's not weight loss advice. That's not fat loss advice. That's maybe to somebody who just is like a casual eater. But for people who like actually struggle with their weight, that's not weight loss advice. That's shaming, basically. In my opinion. That's my opinion. And like I said, it's not just him who says it. There's a bunch of people. Anyway, so that all being said, so what are some things, speaking of being triggered, right? What are some things that you guys think, like, I know what sets me off kind of on like a bad week. I would say like a less than ideal week. What are some of the triggers for you guys? I'm just curious. Like, what sets you off to where you're like, oh, I just don't care. Like, you know, like, because that's kind of where I was at this last week. I was just like, I had a lot going on. Okay, this is mine, so I'll start with mine. I had a lot of stuff going on this week. I had this 3-hour band parent meeting. And I'm not exaggerating. It was 3 hours on Tuesday night, okay? And it was so much information. And I feel kind of like, and this is not to diss the marching band by any stretch of the imagination, but it's got like a kind of a cult vibe. I'm like, I'm in a cult. So I was a little, I mean, that is when my week kind of spiraled out of control. It was after that band parent meeting. It's very expensive, which you guys, I've been pretty open that I'm not a rich girl. Like, not even close. I'm looking forward to getting the $10 from YouTube ads. I mean, I've got that to look forward to. I've got to pay tax on it too, by the way. But I just felt overwhelmed, and I felt suddenly like I had an awful lot of stuff to care about. And I think everybody can relate to this, but I don't know if it's worse. I don't want to use the word worse, but like for parents in particular, I feel like when your kids have a lot going on, it becomes very, very easy to move yourself to the back burner. And I've been guilty of that in the past, and I've caught myself doing it in the past, and I kind of caught myself doing it this week. I just didn't give a bleep. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just like, I feel like I have so much to care about. It was like, and then worrying about like, just, you know, watching what I eat and this and that was like, it just wasn't real high on the priority list. And so for me, like that was, I know that's what set off my week. I'm in a better mental place now. I think I've kind of like settled with the responsibilities, I guess. So I'm in a better place now, and I'm really gonna like do my best to be more on point this week than I was last week. Thank God I worked out last week. Okay, I did get my days in. I actually did 2 workouts in one day. Actually, I did 2 workouts 2 days. So I still got my 3 days in, but I think had I not, I gained anyway, but it would have been a lot worse had I not exercised throughout the week. So let me get caught up on chat. Jess said, Greg did a whole video against unintuitive eating, but he hadn't read the book. The claims he made were false to what actually was in the book. Yeah, see? That's a problem. I didn't watch that one because intuitive eating isn't a thing for me. I don't really care about it. I've tried it before and my intuition is what got me here in the first place. If I left it up to my intuition would be like, just keep eating. So I can't do that. I can't do that for me. I know it works amazing for some people. So I'm not poo-pooing it, just for me, I'm saying. So I didn't watch that video. And that's kind of my thing now, is like I'm being a little bit more selective about what I watch as opposed to watching everything. Jeanette said marching band life is cult life for sure. It's like that everywhere. Waysome said, when my menu does not have what I want in it. Oh, yeah. This week I was just tired. LB said, my kid is starting band next year. I have no clue what's going on. And I did the math and was like, wow. Even just beyond the freaking instruments. So musical instruments, if you guys don't know, are a buttload of money. A buttload. I mean, that's... LB, what instrument are they going to play? My daughter is a flautist. She plays flute. Yeah, you will not have any clue what's going on either, by the way. That continues well into middle school and high school. Just FYI. Unless you're like, I think unless you were in band as a parent, which I was not. I don't have a musical bone in my body. It's a very weird. Jess said, when I try to be too strict, it sets me up to fail. I will just end up rebounding. I hope I've learned that lesson, but I still do it from time to time. I agree. The more I'm like, I'm going to be super strict. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to eat. My brain just goes, are you sure? That's exactly what my brain does. My brain's like, Did you just say you can't have XYZ? Well, now that's all I'm going to think about. Every time. Every single time. No doubt. Hi, Robin. How are you? LB said, yes, back burner mom here. I am so guilty of that. It's really a bad habit. It's really bad. But it's hard to break, right? Because, you love your babies and all that. Robin said, stress for me makes me angry, and that will cause me to not care and then end up eating something with an attitude of, I don't care, when I know I really do. I feel that 100%. 100%. Sarah said, my trigger is when I try to talk about what I'm going through and then I get interrupted and they try to one-up me or make what I'm going through to be small. So I just give up and self-destructish. I can relate to that feeling as well. I know exactly what you mean, Sarah. I know exactly what you mean. 100%. That is hard. That's a big reason why I have this group, why I started doing the live streams, was because I wanted to talk to people who are like kind of like-minded, because I feel like when you're trying to lose weight and you try to like, I don't want to say like dump your struggles out, like so that you can like get it off your chest kind of deal. I feel like people who are not attempting to lose weight don't understand that and choose not to. And so they will make it seem like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But for like when you struggle, when your weight is a struggle, it actually is a big deal. So I agree. I agree. When work gets busy, if I haven't planned ahead, things get screwy. Oh, see, I'm not really good about that. I'm not good about planning anything. I tried to okay, hold up. So you guys know, right? Like I always say, I'm like, I'm going to meal plan, right? Like I'm going to have a plan. I got to show you guys this because it's hilarious. So this is how far I got. Okay, I got my little notebook here. This is how far I got. I wrote like a couple breakfast things, a couple lunches, and some dinner ideas. That's how far it got. I didn't plan what day. I feel like this is a victory in itself because I never even did this. But like just having the ideas of something, that's a huge victory for me. There's my non-scale victory. I didn't share mine. I made a list of food that I like. That's the best it's getting this week. Mrs. J said, intuitive eating doesn't really work for me. That's what got me to my highs. Same here. My intuition, too, it tells me to get cake after. Yeah. Girl, same. Ooh, trombone. Someone suggested going to a pawn shop to get one, but I have no clue what is equivalent to the model number they said he needs. If your school does a rental program, just do that. And they should do it. But if your school does a rental program, LB, it's better to just do it through the school. Trust me on that. Plus, you don't know. There's like if you get one secondhand, they lose quality after a while. Like I said, you're just better off getting it from the school rental if they have that option for you. I can talk to you all day about that stuff too, because my daughter's. She's going into high school now. So we've been at it. She started in 6th grade. So yeah. So if you ever want to chat about that, LB, come see your girl. Okay. You have my info. You can get in touch with me. Because I literally could go off on that. Because they don't tell you, the bands, they don't tell you jack. It's like either talk to somebody or figure it out yourself. And it's not ideal. Caitlin said, my trigger seems to be other people telling me I look like I've lost weight. Oh, cool. I can eat whatever I want now because I'm a skinny legend. I can relate to that too. I think, and even myself, it doesn't even have to be somebody else telling me. It's something like when I look in the mirror and I'm like, okay, I look good. I'm like, okay, so I can totally have like a double cheeseburger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Hi, Mary. How are you? We're talking about things that bleh. Let's try that again. We are talking about things that trigger a struggle. Like talking. Yeah, LB, seriously, anytime. Just message me. You don't have to do it alone. I did it. I'm here to help. That's going to be my second channel is welcome to the band cult. Here's all the crap they don't tell you. Which when I saw the marching band budget, the town I live in, our marching band is nationally, it's a big deal. It's like nationally recognized, award-winning band. It's amazing. It's in the best way. I about died when I saw the budget. About died. Anyway, so do you guys think, several of you, like, right, obviously you know what triggers you. Do you think that knowing what triggers you helps or does it hinder? I'm just curious. Carolyn said, my trigger is when someone says, smile, it's not that bad. I hate when people do that. When I'm having a great day, and that's just my face, bro. Also, you don't know what kind of day I had. I actually hate that. This is so funny. My first like real job, I was still in high school when I got it. But there was a lady there who worked there, and it was like right after my Nana passed away. And I came in and I obviously like probably had a look on my face. And she goes, smile, 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 smile. Like that. That's exactly, like I can hear her voice grating on my brain. And I was like, no, I don't want to smile. And she got really upset and like reported me to the store owner. But I was the store manager. Sarah said, I think it helps because I know some people will always be like that, and I've since found exercising has helped me cope instead of going for food. When you can kind of like grasp exercise as a stress release, that's like it's very liberating. I'm like mixed with that. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for a walk and kind of like chill the hell out. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't, but yeah, that's... Carolyn said that usually results in an eye roll from me. Oh, big time. Ugh. Don't tell people to smile. Ugh. That's a really good... Sarah, I think you made a really good point, is like learning. It's really, really hard, I think, when you've been doing it for years and years, right? Especially. It's really hard to disassociate comfort with and eating. Caitlin said, I actually seem to have a lot of emotional triggers. I'm almost always thinking of food in that moment. It does help knowing, because I can see that thought as a thought and not as an action to take, if that makes sense. It does make sense. That's a good way to look at it, actually. Deanna said, I think it hinders you. You say, this is my trigger, and therefore it is. You find evidence of that and make it true. Because what if it does not have to trigger you? This is why I love you, Deanna. Deanna's always coming with the deep thoughts here. And I'm actually in the same boat as you. For me personally, knowing my triggers doesn't help. It almost is like, then I allow myself to become triggered. Does that make sense? Mary said, I think acknowledge what triggers you gives you a better control over it and kind of help you to avoid those things or situations whenever is possible. And Joe said, it helps when you actually have something you do in response. If you have no strategies for when you get triggered, then it could be kind of a negative. I love where we're going with this. Yes, I actually agree. So Deanna and Joe, that's kind of the camp I come from, right? Like, knowing your triggers is one thing, but being able to teach yourself a way to handle it in a way that doesn't impact your health negatively is a whole other ballgame. And it's not as easy as just saying like, well, you know, when this happens, I'll do this, because it's not always going to be the same situation over and over again, right? Like, sometimes it's going to be different things. I have more than one thing that kind of sets me off. I'm sure other people do too. You know, and to kind of like, it's a slow process, right? Like learning how to cope with those negative emotions in a way that isn't necessarily related to food or binging. And I think for people with some of those, you know, EDs, like it's real easy to slip back into that when something negative happens, because that's what you're used to. Chat is lighting up here, so let me not get behind. Sarah said, yes, it is difficult since food has always been comfort with my family. It was a happy time whenever food is involved. Yep. Nikki said, my mother-in-law likes telling us, eat it, you only live once. So I told her, exactly, we want to live and not die of obesity. And then the fight started. Yeah. Well, that's hard too, right? I've caught myself. I'm going to come back to that comment because I don't want to get behind on chat. Hi, Teresa. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi to you when you popped in. Teresa said, to piggyback on Deanna's comment, you can become aware of those feelings and just allow them to be there and allow them to pass. Feel the feelings, but you don't have to act on them. I actually love, that's great advice. How do you get yourself to where you don't act on them though? Like that for me is the struggle. Like I can recognize like when stuff is going south, right? Like when I am starting this, I'm at the top of the spiral and working my way in. I can like I can identify that and I know kind of what triggers me, but it's like getting myself to where I actually execute my other thought of like, okay, well, I'm not going to do this in response. is where it's like, you know, things kind of don't go the way I want them to. That's for me. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but yeah. How do you get yourself there? You know what I'm saying? Carolyn said, Nanny, my aunt is like that. Oh, she was saying, Nikki, my aunt is like that. One isn't going to kill you, is what she says. Ugh. Yeah, we've talked about that before, right? It's like how sometimes like your family's like, and going back to this, I said I was going to go back to this, so that's a great spot right there. Is, I think my daughter was struggling with something one day, and I gave her some chocolate, and I said something, and it made me so mad after I said it, and I said, well, chocolate makes everything feel better. This is why I am the way that I am. Why did I say that? It bothered me so much. It bothered me so much that I said it to her. And so I kind of like backpedaled. I'm like, it's not the only thing that'll make everything feel better. I don't want to give. Yeah, that's another hard thing too, is when you're dealing with stuff like this. And parents, you can relate, but like, it's like being careful what you say around your kids. Like, I don't need to give my kid like some issues surrounding food. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's a whole other conversation that we've actually had here on the live stream. But yeah, so one of those things. Deanna said, it can also help you. I know when my house is out of order, I don't do as well, so I make it a priority to not let my house get out of order. That's a good point. Don't need to find another distraction to cope. It takes practice to feel the feeling and not act. Teresa said, I think practicing mindfulness is a huge help in getting there. It helps us get used to a place where we can more easily pause and decide how to respond instead of react. It's a practice, never perfect. I love this. This is great advice, I think. Because I mean, that for me, like I said, has always been a struggle. And I think I'm a naturally reactive person. Like I don't ever stew on anything, which I probably should learn how to do. But I don't ever sit with anything. And I also have, I like making myself sound so bad here, but another kind of, how do I want to describe this? Because I actually don't think it's a bad thing. I'm a very like go with the flow person. Like my general attitude in life is like things will work themselves out, and you know, things happen, you just got to deal with it, like that's part of life, and you just float on. And sometimes I feel like that backfires on me, if that makes sense. Like maybe I should care more and try to solve the problem more instead of just like letting it roll. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I don't think it's a bad thing. I actually think it's a good thing. And I've had some, you know, adversity in my life, and I think it's helped me deal with some of those things. But sometimes I wonder, I'm like, maybe I should care more, you know, or maybe I should not just roll with it. Let me get caught up on chat here. Caitlin said, we have to get in the habit of actually recognizing our feelings for what they are, not something shallow like I'm stressed. Okay, but why? And is it really worth stressing over? And if so, what steps can you take to make it less stressful for yourself? This is solid advice as well. Yeah, and those are good questions to ask too. Like, what can I do? For me, the practice would really be like the pause, right? Like the stopping before you do something, right? Before you have that reaction. That would be like, that's something I feel like after this chat, this is a really great chat. This has been very valuable to me. I hope it's been valuable to you all so far. But I think that's something I've always struggled with is either, like I'm kind of a problem solver. And if I can't solve it, I'll just roll with it. But I don't ever like kind of pause to like take it in, if that makes sense. And maybe I would solve problems better if I did that. Christina said, I have times when I can sit and write about what I'm feeling, and then I manage to stay focused and not go to binging. There are times, though, when I can't do that. I understand that completely. Understand that. Yes, Caitlin, you are absolutely making sense. And it is hard. I know you guys have limited characters, so. Hi, Erin. How are you? I'm so happy you're here. We are talking about struggling and managing life in general. Tia, you're fine. You're doing so good on your vlog, by the way. Misty said, it has indeed been a good chat. I've been just listening today, but a lot of good things to ponder for sure. These are the kind of chats I like the most, I think. When we leave and we have things to think about, right? Mary said, I'm like that, Sarah. Like, don't need to worry unnecessarily. The more you think about it, the harder it seems to solve. I agree. Mary said, so I apply a rule. If it's a problem, it has a solution. If it doesn't have a solution, then it is not a problem. I love that, actually. That's like tattoo worthy. I love that. Yeah, it's just hard, And what do you guys think? Who structurally, I just want to know this, like, do you guys ever structure into your plan like a week where you're just not going to worry about it? Has anybody ever done that? I think I've said in the past before that, like, that's something I'd like to try, like having a week where it's like, this week, you don't have to worry about it. Don't think about weight loss. Don't think about calories. Don't think about this. Don't think about that. Like, just live your life. I mean, because ultimately, that's where I want to get, right? I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm not counting calories this week, so eat everything. I don't want to do that. So I feel like maybe incorporating like an off week would be beneficial in the way of like training for maintenance, right? Like, I need to learn how to eat this way. Erin said, I'm good visiting my sister in Virginia. And yeah, I get the struggle. The struggle is hard. Yes. We've all been there. You should have seen, I asked for a show of hands who struggled last week, and it was like, bing, bing, bing. Oh no, Deanna. Whoopsie. Caitlin said, I have to basically catch my thoughts. I see if I have correct tongue posture and breathing through my nose, if my core is engaged and I have good posture, and it brings me back to my body and I can see my thoughts from the outside. That sounds super deep. Did it take you a while to like kind of like train yourself to do that? Jess said, I don't plan weeks off. They just naturally occur when they need to. That's probably smart. That's probably a good way to kind of tackle it. Teresa said, the only time I have done, I'm not going to worry about it, was on vacation in the past, but then I find it just makes it harder later, and I usually wish I hadn't. Joe said, I just saw some video where a study said that maintenance practice was helpful. Oh, really? Send that to me later. You follow me on Instagram, I'm pretty sure, right? Like, message me there. Tia said, I've stopped counting calories very strictly, but I'm intuitively eating. It's the happiest I've ever been because I'm exercising. I'm happy that my body is in a deficit and shrinking. I choose health over calorie count, and it's honestly changed my life. That's awesome. That would not work for me. My intuition cannot be trusted. But that comes along with binge eating disorder. That's why. I mean, I think for people that works for, I think that's amazing. And I'm so proud of you. You've done awesome. I loved, I haven't watched your video yet, but your before and after picture, how incredible, Tia. You're doing amazing. I'm so proud of you. That's part of the thing I love about YouTube. And I think it's real easy, like, for people who are creating content, I think you will see that most people just want to see the before and after, but don't realize there's all this stuff in the middle that happens to get there. So I really appreciate the people who are like, they don't just throw up a video of like, here's how I lost 60 pounds. Like, they don't just do that. They actually document the journey. I have a real appreciation for that. Of course, I'm not here to police anybody how they YouTube, but you know what I mean, right? Like, there's this whole middle part. Tia said, learning about calories gave me the power over food. So now it's like second nature to know what my body needs. Yeah, that does make sense. Jess said, I would worry that if you plan an off week, you might lose momentum if you're in the groove. I might just let them happen as needed. That's a good way to look at it too. I find that when it happens to me, though, it's kind of because I was on a pretty good streak for a little bit. And it's like, I think sometimes, and I don't know this for sure, this is like not something I've truly identified, but I think sometimes I do get scared. Like, I scare myself. Like, I'm like, oh, you're being too successful. I don't know this. And I have never consciously had that thought. But I do think it happens. I think, for me anyway, I can't speak for everybody, of course, but you know, just like almost self-sabotage, you know what I mean? Or my brain's like, you're doing good, so what do you need to care about? Care about all these other things more. Don't worry about that. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't like self-identified that thought, but I wonder. Risa Bisa said, for me, I think it's about seeing food as punishment. When I restrict, I'm punishing myself for being fat. When I binge from stress, I'm punishing myself by derailing, compromising my journey. Yeah, I get that. Deanna said, I don't have a difference between an off week and an on week. I've built habits and routines that support a healthy body and lifestyle. That's my whole thing, Deanna. That is my whole thing. Is like, right, end game is maintenance, right? And not having to do this, for God's sake, ever again. I've done it a few times. I haven't had as much to lose, but I have lost weight a few times. If you're in my group, I shared my old picture, my keto picture, where I looked like, my body looked good, but my face was like kind of sad. But yeah, so that's what I want for myself, right? Like, I don't want it to be, and that's why I've really tried saying like having a bad week, right? Like, I don't want to say it like that, because if you, or no, not having a bad week, going off track. Right? Off track implies that you're not doing something that you're sticking to for the rest of your life. And that's really what I want for myself, is I want a way of eating that is sustainable. I don't want to be off track. Off track of what? You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Am I making sense? I feel like being on track, off track, like that's a diet culture-y kind of thing. That, you know, that's why those 6-week programs and whatnot, they expect you to fail halfway through so that you keep buying products to continue the program. Kind of deal. That's kind of deal. Same, I cannot do intuitive eating. My intuitive eating involves way too many chips. I feel ya. I have a lot of respect for people who do it and are successful with it. Like, a lot of respect, because that takes a lot of, that's control. That's control. And it's hard. It's hard. So kudos, big time. I know several of you do intuitive eating. And like I said, I will never poo-poo on the way anybody does their thing. My whole deal, you guys know this, my whole deal is like doing something that's sustainable, that it's not just a temporary, right? Because I don't think any of us, any of the things, I shouldn't say any of us, maybe some of you have, but for me, any of the temporary things that I've done just put me back where I started ultimately. So, yeah. Let me get caught up on chat because I started rambling. Jess said, there's definitely fear of success because you've been this person on a weight loss journey for so long, and then who are you without it? Yes! I was just talking to my husband about that, Jess, is that like, I don't want to forever be the weight loss girl, you know, but like, what am I going to do? I'm not that interesting. Yeah. So, yeah. Or it's worse when you've been the fat friend, you know? Like, and then you wonder, like, well, do I still have value if I'm not the fat friend? Right? I missed a bunch of chat and I'm so sorry. Liz said, I don't have worry-free weeks because it sends me into a spiral, but I'm developing better habits now, and I hope one day it will just become my lifestyle instead of something I have to work at daily. Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you, Liz. That's where I'm kind of coming from too. Teresa said, if we think about living as we will at goal, then a week off no longer really works because it is all just our lives. So reiterate what Deanna says. Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Caitlin said, trying to lose weight in the middle of dealing with life is hard. Finding the balance, I think, is my constant struggle. Yes. Yes, Jess. Deanna is so freaking wise. It's insano. She's always dropping the wisdom on me. Hey, Ken, how are you? That Guy No More said, yes, that. I truly believe that is a big reason why I have struggled through the years and still do. 100%. It does become part of your identity. Tia said, Jess, that's where I found fitness helpful because I always feel better when I have a goal I'm working towards. 100%. 100%. Risa said, I'm glad a few of you could relate. I hit the send button and instantly felt self-conscious. Like, why did you post that? No. We don't do that in here. This is a safe zone. Although I read your stuff out loud and people can come back and look at it later. But... But that's why we're here. That's why we're here. You can share those kinds of things. So please don't be self-conscious in here. Share what you feel. Because guaranteed, if you feel it, somebody else feels it. Even if I feel it, somebody else probably feels it. Like that's kind of where I come from. That's why I really enjoy this format of like a live chat. So please don't ever, this goes to everybody, not just Risa. Don't ever be self-conscious. Just talk freely. Nobody's gonna listen. Somebody comes in here and starts trolling anybody, or goes in my comments section and starts trolling people. I'm gonna throw down and delete their comment. Whoa! I protect my squad. Let me get caught up. I'm behind. Mary said, I consider that being healthy is more than being just slim. I can be at my healthy weight and still unhealthy mentally. For me, mental and physical health go hand in hand, and that's what I'm focusing on. Love that. Love that, love that, love that. Hi, Derek. How are you? Caitlin said, I think what makes it so hard is having the mentality that we are living in the end and thinking we are already those healthy, balanced biches, but we are still training ourselves to be those biches. That's actually a good point. Right? Like we are kind of training towards or working towards a lifestyle change. And it's hard, especially because you're doing the habits that you have that maybe got you to where your weight is undesirable. Those habits have been years long. I don't think there's anybody who was like, well, last month I was really a very healthy person, and then this month I just ate everything, and now I want to get back to what I was before. Like, it wasn't a 30-day thing that got you there. It was probably, I would say, right, a couple months, maybe a year. For me, it's years and years and years. And so coming through and, really, really grasping the concept of like, you've been doing this way for years and this is what got you here. It's going to take time to change that. So yeah, so sustainable, right? Tia said, yes, sustainability is the absolute key. I've tried everything under the sun and it always done out of hate for my body. Now I've found a way that works for me that is done out of love. I love that. Deanna calls it mindful eating. That's a good way to look at it too. Sarah said, the designated fat friend is something I've been my whole life, and as I've lost weight, I get some friends who support me and others who have started distancing from me. It's rough. Well, I mean, you could be like me and just not have any friends. I struggled with that in high school. I definitely did. Carolyn, have a great day. If you're already gone, I'm sorry I missed you, but have an awesome, awesome day. I hope it's amazing. Yeah, T, I love that. I actually love that. That was a great way to say it. Sarah the Troll Slayer. Yes. Tia said, I spoke about being the fat kid in my latest video. I'm so happy to be breaking out of this stereotype and so glad that I'm resonating with people in this community. Yes, you are, my dear. 100%. Jeanette said, I've just been listening as I get ready, but this has been a great discussion. Thank you to everyone who has been sharing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Please. It really does help a lot. Hi, Christine. How are you? Christine said, love Nikki and G's adventures in Ireland. Aw, don't we all? They're just the sweetest. Let me get caught up. LB, don't worry. You can watch the replay. This really was a good discussion. It's 11 o'clock already. Holy moly. But I don't want to ignore anybody's chat. And now I'm so freaking far behind. So if I missed something deep and meaningful that you said, I apologize big time. I do have to wrap it up because I have a very busy day ahead of me myself. So, Joe said that would be a good Sunday topic in itself. What does sustainable mean? Let's talk about it next week. Writing it down. That'll be our topic next week for discussion. What does sustainability mean to you? I love that. Thank you. Great suggestion. Which you guys know, I'm always open to your suggestions. So if there's ever something that you guys want to talk about, if there's something that you're going through, please tell me. If you're not in the Facebook group, you can tell me there. I usually will have a little post type of deal that says like, hey, give me some topics. Because I want to make this, I say this all the time, but it's more about us. It's not about me. This is like, I host the live stream, but this is more about us. And so obviously issues that you need support on, like, don't be shy. Don't be shy about it. Okay. Like, just tell me. I want to talk about things that like you guys want to talk about that are meaningful to you. And it's so, I mean, all of this sage wisdom in this chat, we have some very, very smart people, okay? Very caring people, very relatable people. There's from all walks of life, okay? And so just opening up about things is such a great way to get it off your chest. And like, just, I think for me, I know it helps me a lot. And I have a lot to chew on from our chat today. So absolutely, absolutely. Please, if you ever have a topic that you want to talk about, just find a way to get in touch with me. I'm pretty open. My Instagram DMs are open. The Facebook group, all of the above, here in a comment, wherever you're comfortable sharing. And I don't even have to say that you suggested the topic, okay? If you want to keep it like, hey, please don't say that I suggested this, but can we talk about? I'm happy to do that too. So you can I'll keep you anonymous. I don't think I've ever given you guys a reason not to trust me because I care about you all deeply. So, don't be a stranger. Anyway, so next week we'll talk about sustainability. We have a lot to talk about this week, I think, or a lot to leave here and think about. So yeah, really good chat today, guys. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are, because there are people from all around the world here, which is, it still gets me kind of giddy. I think that's the coolest thing. And I really appreciate everybody for sharing the things that you did today and chatting it all through. I think this was just an amazing discussion. So I think it'll be really valuable to anybody who watches the replay as well. So, which shout out to all my replay people. I didn't know how many people watched the replay until I didn't post the one that I had all those technical difficulties. I got so many messages of people who were like, what happened? Where's your live stream? Like, this is part of my Monday morning. What am I going to do? So there were so many people who messaged me and I was just like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. So that's super flattering. So there are people who watch the replay who get a lot of value out of this as well. So, don't be sorry. No, don't be sad, anybody. Listen, I don't care when you pop in here, okay? I'm just so honored that anybody stops in at all. So I super duper appreciate you. It was good seeing some faces in here. We had new faces. We had some old familiar faces who we hadn't seen in a while. So I'm just so happy that everybody was here, and I appreciate you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and stay positive the rest of the week. You got this. I believe in you. You should believe in you too. So until next time, I'll see you real soon.